Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into something pretty fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bright light
Okay.
and how it connects to our sleep and mental health and
Mm-hmm.
our well-being in general.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we've got three sources we're going to be looking at today.
Okay.
First up is this Harvard study that looked at how bright light exposure is linked to depression symptoms.
Okay.
And then we're going to be checking out Q&A from Rockefeller University, all about circadian rhythms.
Sounds good.
And last, we've got a Brigham and Women's Hospital study that found some pretty surprising differences
Oh.
between men and women in terms of how much bright light they're actually getting. So
Wow.
are we living in
Yeah.
a light-deprived world?
That's a great question.
Let's find out.
I think these sources can definitely shed some light on that.
Okay, so let's jump right in with that Harvard study.
Okay.
I was really surprised to find that people who got more bright light during the day, had more regular sleep patterns,
Well,
and on top of that, less depression symptoms. And they studied over 6,600 people, so
yeah,
it's a pretty good sample size.
yeah, definitely. I think it really points to the importance of sleep regularity for our overall health.
Yeah, for sure. But why does bright light even matter for sleep? We don't sleep with the lights on?
Right. But light is actually like the main cue for our internal clock,
Oh, you mean
our circadian rhythm.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So when our eyes see bright light, especially in the morning,
Okay.
it tells our brain, hey, it's time to wake up.
So it's like setting the rhythm for our whole day, even if we don't realize it.
Exactly. And what's really neat about this study is they use those wrist-worn devices
Oh, yeah.
to track both light exposure and sleep.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, give you way more reliable data than just asking people,
And self-reporting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's more accurate?
But, there are some limitations to this study, right?
Well, yeah, of course. We always have to consider that.
Yeah.
So this was a cross-sectional study,
Okay.
which means it just gives us the snapshot in time, so we can see correlations, but it doesn't necessarily mean more bright light directly causes better sleep or fewer depression symptoms.
So we need more research to figure that out.
Yeah, longitudinal studies would be really helpful to see how things play out over time.
That makes sense. Okay, so promising findings, but more to learn.
Absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of learning, that Rockefeller Q&A really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that almost every single cell in our body has its own internal clock?
It's true.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
And all those little clocks are actually synced up by a master clock in our brain.
Oh.
And guess what acts as the main timekeeper for that master clock? I don't know. Tell me.
Light.
Wow. So our bodies are responding to light all the time.
All the time.
Even at the cellular level.
Even at the cellular level, it's pretty amazing.
That's insane. So this whole circadian rhythm thing,
It affects way more than just sleep.
way more. It's estimated that 50 to 80% of our genes are actually regulated by our circadian rhythm.
Seriously, that many? What happens if those rhythms get messed up?
Well, that's when things can start to go wrong.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the Q&A mentioned a whole bunch of conditions.
Right, like heart disease.
Heart disease, obesity,
Sleep-
dementia, even cancer.
So all that could be connected to our internal clocks.
There's definitely a growing body of evidence suggesting that disruptions to our circadian rhythms can contribute to a lot of chronic diseases. Think of it like this. Your circadian rhythm is like the conductor of an orchestra,
Okay.
and your genes are all the musicians,
I like that.
right?
Yeah.
And this rhythm is telling them when to play and when to be quiet.
Uh-huh.
It influences everything, hormones, metabolism, you name it.
So if our internal clocks are off, it's like our bodies are playing out of tune.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can have a domino effect on our health.
And we live in a world that's basically dominated by artificial light.
Right. Think about it.
We're inside all the time staring at screens.
Exactly.
So is that messing with our natural rhythms?
It's definitely a factor. Our modern lifestyles are kind of at odds with how we evolved.
How so?
Well, our ancestors spent most of their time outdoors, exposed to natural daylight and darkness.
Okay.
That regular pattern kept their internal clocks running smoothly.
So we've basically created this 2047 world
Yeah,
that's making it hard for our bodies to keep up.
exactly. And that disconnect can have some pretty big consequences.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it makes you wonder if all this artificial light, especially at night, is why we're seeing more sleep problems and, mood disorders and
Yeah.
all these other health issues.
It definitely plays a role, I think. Our bodies just haven't quite caught up to this modern way of living.
Yeah.
And that Brigham and Women's study we talked about,
Right.
they actually found some pretty big differences in light exposure between men and women.
Yeah, that one was really surprising. They found that men get like
Yeah,
52% more bright light
it's correct.
than women.
Yeah, and it starts in childhood, too.
It's a huge difference.
It is. It makes you wonder why that is, and you know what it means for our health.
Yeah.
It's probably a bunch of things combined, right?
Yeah.
Like different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Some jobs you're outside more,
Right, right.
and some you're stuck inside all day.
Yeah. And then there's just like lifestyle choices too, right? Like how much time people spend outside for fun,
Because
or even just like cultural norms. You know, maybe in some cultures, women just don't spend as much time outdoors.
yeah, it all adds up.
So it's like we're accidentally shortchanging women when it comes to light.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could say that. And bright light's super important for so many things.
Right, we talked about the sleep-wake cycle,
Uh-huh.
but it also affects our mood.
It does. And it helps our bodies produce vitamin D.
Oh, right, which is important for...
For bone health,
Right.
immune function, all kinds of stuff.
Wow, so we've got sleep, mood, immune system, bones,
Uh-huh.
all affected by light. So what can we do about it? Like, if we think we're not getting enough light,
Yeah.
what can we actually do?
Well, one of the best things you can do is start your day with daylight.
Okay.
So instead of grabbing your phone first thing in the morning,
Uh-huh.
try going outside for a few minutes.
Like, even just stand outside.
Yeah. Take a walk, have your coffee outside, just soak up some sun.
That sounds nice, but what about people who work inside all day?
Right.
Like, I can't just tell my boss I need to go take a walk in the sunshine.
Uh-huh. I hear you.
Oh.
But even if you can't get outside first thing,
Okay.
you can still try to get some daylight throughout the day.
Okay.
Take your breaks outside, eat lunch in a park,
Okay.
or even just sit by a window at work.
That's a good point.
Just being near natural light can make a difference.
I'm definitely going to try that.
Yeah,
It's amazing how much these little things matter.
they really do.
Yeah.
And it's not just about how much light you get, but also when you get it. That morning light is especially important for your circadian rhythm.
So morning walks, sunny breakfasts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe some outdoor yoga if you're feeling adventurous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you really can't get enough natural light,
Yeah.
you could look into a light therapy box.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of those.
They basically mimic sunlight.
So it's like sunshine on demand?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They can be really helpful for people with seasonal affective disorder,
Right.
but anyone can benefit from them.
It's wild how something as simple as light
You know,
can have such a big impact on how we feel.
it is. It's easy to forget, but light really is essential.
Totally. And the good news is we can make small changes to get more of it.
Right. It's not about overhauling your whole life, just making those little adjustments to your routine.
It's like we've been living in a dim world,
Uh-huh.
and now we can finally brighten things up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we've discovered this secret weapon
Right?
that's been here all along, and it's free.
Exactly. I mean, we evolved to live in a world with natural light and dark cycles.
Right.
And when we understand how light affects us,
Yeah,
we can make choices to, be healthier.
totally. So for everyone listening out there, what's the takeaway here? I mean, we learned a lot about how bright light affects our sleep,
Yeah.
our mood, our immune system.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of us aren't getting enough.
Yeah, especially women.
Right.
So I think it's important for people to really think about their own light exposure habits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you getting enough bright light during the day?
Yeah, especially in the morning.
Exactly. And are you dimming the lights at night before bed?
Good point. So try out some of the tips we talked about today.
Yeah, experiment a little.
See how they affect your energy,
Mood.
your sleep.
You might be surprised at what a difference it makes.
Yeah, and even if you can't change everything, just those small adjustments can really help.
Exactly.
And hey, maybe you'll even rediscover how much you enjoyed a morning walk in the sunshine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, or spending time outside in the afternoon.
There's something so nice about connecting with nature
I agree.
and just feeling the sun on your skin.
It's like tapping back into those natural rhythms.
Exactly. So here's something to think about. What if getting enough light is the key to sleeping better, feeling happier?
And having a stronger immune system.
Something to ponder.
Definitely. And remember, every day is a new chance
Right.
to kind of embrace the power of light.
I love that. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of bright light.
Of course.
Let us know what you think and share your experiences with us on social media.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, stay bright, everyone.